everybody, and welcome to the Smart Claim Tip. I hope you're not affected by the recent hurricane coming up the coast. Hurricane season, there's so many claims and so much information that we could talk about with hurricanes, but I'm going to focus on four at a kind of a macro level so you understand what's involved if you have a hurricane claim. Hopefully this will help you a little bit. All right, first of all, windows and doors are some of the largest items that get affected by exterior high winds. So if you live in a hurricane belt or a hurricane area, you probably have hurricane rated windows and doors. And if you've had these put in, you know how expensive they are. Thousands and thousands of dollars, sometimes $10,000 even for a patio door for fully hurricane rated glass. Basically, these are car windshields disguised as windows to really protect you in the event of flying debris. The issue with glass and glazing is that even after the storm, they may be damaged. Even though they're rated to handle the storm, they're only rated to protect the occupants. So they may be damaged to require replacement, even though they completely survived and protected the property. They're not meant to survive themselves. So it is very possible with a thorough window and door inspection after a hurricane that the windows and doors will need replacing because of debris that scratches the glass, that's common, because of roofing and building materials that scratch the glass, because of what is called huffing, where the glass actually moves in and out so much it damages the seals and the interlocks. Same thing with the doors, but there's often lots of damage on glazing after a loss, even for doors and windows that did not break. So very important focus when after a hurricane to take and have them fully inspected. There's companies that's all they do is the reporting on windows and glazing. All right, second is roofing. Most common item to be denied or be ignored is roofing. So if roofing is damaged, it's not always thoroughly visible. If you have a terracotta, a cement, or a concrete roof, it's very possible that the membrane underneath that roof got affected by those tiles being lifted up and down from the storm. If that's the case, it still may need to be replaced, fully reset, and that full membrane replaced. Today's shingles in the hurricane belt are very good, but they often have seal failure. So these shingles were lifted up and down throughout the loss to the point where the seals failed and may not be repairable because of debris that's underneath your roofing shingles, so they may need to be replaced. And then we have some really high-end roof materials out there today in the synthetic world. The metal and the aluminum roofing can be damaged easily by impact. So the metal and aluminum roofing has to be inspected for physical impacts, much like hail, and even hail comes with some hurricanes, but much like hail, you'll get the impact damage where the shingles are physically affected by the debris. And then when we have the full slate/synthetic line, which tends to be a plastic, they will get crease marks from being lifted up and down from where the plastic is bent. Kind of you take a Bic pen cap and you bend it back and forth and it turns white a little bit. So roofing needs to be really inspected by a thorough inspection. We use all kinds of methods to do that, but roofing after a hurricane should really be looked at for signs of damage or indications of damage that you probably cannot see from the ground. Alrighty, ordinance and law becomes a big issue. Ordinance and law is how we get to rebuild our property to today's code and generally having coverage to allow for that. So most policies allow for rebuilding the way your property was, right? That's where we start. And then you have additional coverages available, a specific amount of money usually, to build to current code. So that code coverage becomes really important, especially with roofing, siding, and electric, even insulation, to make sure that you don't forget that to put your property back to code may cost considerably more and have some really big changes. So let's say your rafter thickness has to be changed based on today's code due to insulation. Well, that'll affect your roof line. Well, if that affects your roof line, it may have to replace all of your roofing and maybe even all of your interior ceilings, depending on how they're laid out. So code coverage is so important. Make sure you have code coverage, increased cost of compliance, but code coverage is a big issue. Make sure you have it if you live anywhere near or think you'd have a hurricane, a fire, or a large water loss. I'm telling you, code coverage is pretty important for everybody. All right, let's talk. The last thing we're going to talk about is deductibles. Wind deductibles kick in often on hurricane losses. Depending on your policy, it may require a named storm. It may require a declared emergency by a governor. But long story short is wind deductibles are nasty. Let's take a $500,000 house. That's a small house. A $500,000 house having a 5% deductible means your deductible is $25,000. 2% is 10, 1% is 5. These are big, big dollars. Make sure that you are prepared for that. Don't get hit with a $25,000 deductible if you weren't ready for it. Sometimes that deductible, if you have with that a roof schedule, eliminates coverage completely on your roof. If you had a roof schedule showing 50% depreciation, you'd actually a $50,000 loss with a 5% deductible would allow for no coverage to your roof, dollar-wise, effectively. So please double check your wind deductible. You can read the policy when it's applied. Is it a named storm? Is it just high winds? Is it all wind? Batten down the hatches, get prepared because they are coming. We're in that season. So hopefully that helps, and I didn't scare you too much, but that deductible can really be a nightmare. Again, I'm Bill the Adjuster. Thanks so much for being on this video. And if you like what you saw, you're welcome to share it with your friends. You can email me directly for a tip you may want on a specific topic or a question you have directly, smartclaim@metropa.com. Again, thanks so much and have a good one.